So someone asked me, thanks a lot for your videos, they help many people. This is very personal, but from my experience, true meditation takes place when you really manage to let go of everything and just be. Mostly it is spontaneous, without planning, technique, method. Experiencing such meditation is enjoyable, but it does not take it any easier. It does not make it any easier because the mind starts to crave the state. Yes, I sit down to meditate and the desire to let go does not allow me to let go. The mind is so focused on letting go, on not having a technique, that it becomes a technique. Any advice? So you have the experience, you have had this and very enjoyable experience of letting go. It's when you're just allowing whatever is. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. There's no fight against this present moment. There's no resistance, which means there's no ego, because ego is resistance. And that's very enjoyable because when there's no ego, you are actually experiencing your true self, which is coming straight from the source. But the mind is always here. The mind cannot really be excluded. It's just part of being a human, part of having a human experience. It will not just be silent, because it's like having an arm. It's just there. You cannot get rid of it. It has nothing to do with spirituality to just cut off your arm. In the same way, it has nothing to do with spirituality to try to get rid of your thoughts. But you have had the experience of allowing your thoughts. Thoughts arise, they come and go, they arise and they dissolve, and it's chaotic, and sometimes it's a little more peaceful. Sometimes you have experiences of having absolutely no thoughts, but there is no resistance to it. That's what actually matters. It's not if the mind is loud or quiet. What matters is is there resistance. And you've had the experience of having no resistance, and therefore you know how it feels to let go. Letting go actually means to not be involved. Allow the mind to think. Allow the feelings to hurt. But I'm not involved. It's just I'm not in control. Now the mind noticed something. Something happened. You let go, and all of a sudden you felt some kind of high. You felt high. It's like you feel like you're floating in the clouds, and it's like there's no problem. I don't have to do anything. And the mind is taking notes. It's like, wait a minute, if I'm simply doing this every time or all day long would be even better. It's just let go of control, and then I will get a sensation or a feeling of being relaxed, of having joy, of feeling bliss and ecstasy. So why not just let go all the time? And then you turn it into a practice. It's like, let go, let go, let go. Come on, let go, let go. It doesn't work anymore. and that's what's happening. So you have to still, as the mind is trying to use this as a method, be not involved. Look at this sensation from afar, from distance, from a kind of distance. Doesn't mean that you have to separate yourself from the activity of thought, but it's just as your being. We could go back to the basics. When I'm telling you to just be, what happens? Your being. Alright, for 1 or 2 seconds there's just absolute silence, but then in the third second there's the arising of a thought. It says, okay, how to meditate again? Am I doing it right? Alright, I should let go. Let go. Why? It doesn't work. I'm still feeling tense. You're still observing it. You just simply allow the mind to talk. Right? It's just there's the mind that's talking, it's trying to let go. It's trying to be a separate person that can do things, that can decide what should happen and what shouldn't happen, but you're still the one observing. You're still being. Then all this chatter dissolves for 1 or 2 seconds of still being. Then another thought comes up. It doesn't work. I feel tense. And when you're trying to let go, when the mind is trying to do something for its liberation, then usually the reason why it's doing it is because there's a sensation of tension. Right now, as you're watching this video, you can discover for yourself, whoever you are watching this video, explore your body. What is actually the reason why you want to let go? Why are you meditating in the first place? There needs to be a kind of discomfort in the body, which is the reason why you want to have liberation from it. There is suffering. Suffering is not just in the mind. The actual felt sensation of pain that you want to get rid of, emotional pain that you want to get rid of, is not in the mind. It's not in the thoughts, it's in the body. Discover what's happening in the body. There must be a kind of tension, which is the result of conflict in the mind. When the mind's thinking about stuff that is making you anxious, or instantly there is a kind of sensation of tension. And the mind wants to let go, use the method of letting go as a technique to let go of tension. So when I'm telling you just be, the mind will try to do its thing. Let it. But also be aware of what you actually want to get rid of. So why does the mind want to let go? It wants to let go because there is tension. Become aware of that tension. As you're becoming aware of that tension, notice also that the mind says, yes, that's exactly what I want to get rid of. There's maybe the feeling of heartbreak, maybe anxiety, stress. You can feel it in the throat, you feel a tight neck. It is so uncomfortable to be a human being, to have a body. It's so tight, and you actually want to feel expanded like a cloud. That's what you really want. Most people, when they're trying to meditate or have had the experience of a good meditation, they felt like light as a feather or expansive like a cloud. You want to go back to this state. Become aware of why this is not already the case, and the mind will automatically direct you to the very sensation that feels tense and tight and strong and heavy. Become aware of it right now as you're watching this video. There's heaviness, there's tightness, there's stress, anxiety, chaos, there's like anger, it burns, or whatever it is in your case. Allow the mind to do what it wants to do. It's still trying to do its technique, it won't work. But that's not your concern. You become aware of what's actually the felt problem. And now the mind says, that's what I want to get rid of. But you say, as consciousness already, because it is an inherent quality of consciousness to accept what is. As you're becoming aware of what the mind wants to get rid of, consciousness is accepting it. And in this loving presence, this acceptance, it is dissolving. Right now, as you're watching this video, just become aware of what's actually the reason why this moment feels so heavy. Why do I feel like I'm not able to let go? In a relaxed state of being, become aware of what's the felt problem. And this awareness of it is like saying yes to it. It's like saying, okay, there's tension, but you're allowed to be here. You can even say it if you want to. You can reprogram your mind seemingly to no longer say no to it, but say yes to it. You're allowed to be here, actually. Not because I want you to go away, but because I want you to feel like you're welcome. Right? That's what you should say to the feeling, to the tension. That's what you should say to the things that you used to want to get rid of. So, do it right now. And maybe your mind says right now, okay, the reason why I'm actually trying to let go, the reason why this moment is not perfect yet is because there is a sensation of tightness. So say yes to the tightness. There's tightness. Doesn't feel good. but it's okay, it's welcome. You're no longer, by doing this, you're no longer fighting it, so there's no ego involved. And then it's no longer suppressed, which means that it could seemingly become more intense at first. So at first you only felt it in the chest, but now you can also feel it in more in the lower area of your upper body, or in the throat, or now in the neck, or it's going up to the head, and you're just interested and curious about it. What does it actually feel like to be stressed? Like, have you ever wondered? Have you ever tried to experience stress as it is without trying to get rid of it? Be curious about stress. Be curious about tightness. What does it feel like to be tight? And it's almost like when you're doing this, the tightness itself feels seen by consciousness. And when consciousness is lovingly looking at it, without having any motive or intention for it to go away, it dissolves, but it doesn't go away. It is not cut off and thrown in the trash. It is becoming one with the expansiveness of consciousness itself. And because stress is something that is happening in the realm of forms, this might take some time. But that's how you can actually let go. That's what letting go means. It means I'm accepting what is. First, before you want to meditate and let go, sit down and be. And then ask yourself, why am I even trying to meditate? Let's be honest. Let's be very authentic with yourself. Why am I trying to meditate? And then you have to come with an honest answer, because actually I feel like I'm restless and I want to have peace. That's an honest answer. It's not because you're some enlightened, it's just, no, it's because you crave peace. So, and then when you have this answer, you have to question this also. Why is peace not already here? What is standing between me and peace? Then the mind will automatically direct you towards the very sensation that is standing between you and peace. There is a sensation of tension, and I feel like if this tension wouldn't be there, I would feel peace, which is right. But now, don't try to get rid of that tension. Go to the feeling of tension and say, you're allowed to be here. You're welcome. You can stay as long as you want. I'm just here. I'm just being here, and you're also welcome to be here. Now, automatically there's no longer a fight. There's no longer a demand for a technique to get rid of it. But there is acceptance. And be curious. Look what's happening. It's like an energy that's starting to move. At first it was in the chest, and it goes up in the throat, and it goes down again, and it's expanding and contracting, and it's like, or it feels frozen. That's also something that can happen. It's just frozen and feels dead, and it has been there for decades. But also observe that. And then all of a sudden you will see that maybe this uncomfortable sensation will stay, but the absence of conflict, the absence of a war, fight against it, is also brings a sense of peace and okayness. So it's okay for it to be there. You're no longer trying to get rid of it because you're no longer fighting it, and this alone makes you free. And when you're no longer fighting it, what is the opposite of fight? It is love, it is peace, it is acceptance. And when it is accepted, then it will heal. You just have to give it time. That's what it means to let go. It doesn't mean to just use the mind and say, let go, just I want to get rid of it. It's invite it. Invite the discomfort to become part of your presence. And then true allowance will happen. You will actually let go. You just have to learn how to invite the negative. instead of trying to get rid of it. All right. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and like this video if you liked it, and subscribe, and have a great day.